Ma'am?
First we'll ask, Gisela, our interpreter, to give an introduction. Hi, Gisela.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. I just want to say thank you to the organizers of this event for your commitment to language justice. Thank you for giving an opportunity where people can participate and engage in the language of their heart, the language that they feel most comfortable in, that is the language that we practice at home. So to create this space, we're going to be using simultaneous interpretation. When I'm finished saying this in Spanish, we're going to turn on interpretation, and you're going to see a globe icon on the bottom of your bar that says interpretation. If you're not fully bilingual, I ask that you select your preferred language. If you're going to be presenting or facilitating, please be aware of your speed, knowing that Spanish takes 20 to 25% longer than English. Hola a todas las personas, mi nombre es Gisela y estoy aquí con la Community Lengua Coop. Quiero darle las gracias a los organizadores de este evento por su compromiso a la justicia del lenguaje. Gracias por crear una oportunidad donde las personas pueden participar e involucrarse en el idioma de su corazón, en el idioma que se sienten más cómodos, que es el que practicamos en casa. Para crear este evento vamos a estar usando la interpretación simultánea. Cuando termine de decir eso, vamos a aprender interpretación y usted va a ver un icono de un globo en la barra de abajo de su pantalla que dice interpretación. Si no es completamente bilingüe, por favor seleccione su idioma preferido. Y si vas a hablar o presentar, por favor, sé consciente de tu velocidad. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much. You can go ahead and turn on interpretation.
Oh,
Sorry.
I will call the February 23rd, 2026 work session meeting, the city council to order, at 18:02. Oh my gosh, 6:02 p.m. Sorry. All council members are present. We're going to, so we're gonna start with them?
With the housing authority, guys.
Yes.
It's the other two items that we'll switch.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I will recess the work session and call to order the February 2026 Sheridan Housing Authority meeting at 6:03 p.m., also known as 18:03. Also, all council members are present. To call to order and a roll call. Everyone is here. Minutes.
Madam Mayor, do you mind if we just go around the table and introduce ourselves? We have so many people at the table, so.
You know what, we could.
Introductions real quick.
Sure, absolutely. I'm Sally Daigle. I'm the mayor. We'll go this way.
I'm Betsy Stewart. I'm the city attorney.
Kevin Granberry, city manager.
Jenna DeRubo, city clerk.
Anthony Lopez, city council.
City Council Ward 3. Jay Whitaker, City Council Ward 2.
Desiree Stang, city councilor.
Michael Moreno, mayor pro tem.
Still Clark City Council.
And I am Sherry Stinson, interim executive director of Innovative Housing Concepts. And I'm Jen Lambert. I'm the acting co-deputy director of Innovative Housing Concepts.
Yes.
Good. Should we do the back row?
Ken? Sure,
Start with the
everybody.
I'm Jerry Patterson, the chief here in Sheridan.
I'm Michaela Goldfarb. I'm the court assistant / recording secretary for tonight.
Kathy, you say court administrator?
Jeremiah Riker, Public Works Director.
Art Snow, planner for Sheridan.
Andrew Ruggie, community development department director. Future planning and zoning commission member.
And I'm Wendy Brockman, the communications manager.
All right. Cool. There he is. Now, see, you've totally confused me with that. We,
Do you want my agenda?
yeah, because it doesn't really have anything other than the minutes. We do have to do the minutes. And the financial report and then the program report. Yeah. And do all of that.
Starting with.
Whenever
minutes.
you're ready to start.
You need to approve the minutes.
We do need to approve the minutes first. I'll take a motion
I'll make the motion to approve the
and a
minutes.
second.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any questions, anyone opposed? Moving on, financial reports presentation, now I'm gonna take it.
Right, so, this is for December 2025. We had a prior period adjustment of the HAP contract, which was paid in 2026, but moved to 2025 of about $15,000. We ended the year in 2025 with HUD owing Sheridan just over $8,000, 8720 in HAP funding. Payable to, accounts payable to Inglewood at the year end for, the management fee was 32,069 after a payment of just over $69,000 in December of 25. Sheridan ended with unrestricted cash at year end, of 19,745, restricted cash of 30,234, and a general fund cash of 92,463. So that's the restricted and unrestricted funds. We received 165,378 in admin funding from HUD and spent 174,519. There was a bad debt write-off of 9,154 for the year. Which is not a payable, but just a write-off. And then, we received 10,970 in fraud cash payments, which gave us a total admin fee plus fraud received of 176,348. So we ended the year above what we spent of 174,519. Any questions on the thing?
Anybody have any questions? Want to just move to the program reports?
Jen's gonna go over.
We just need a motion, a second, and a vote on the financials.
Well, like this fast, if she wanted to do them all at once or.
Oh, sorry.
Well, go ahead and,
Oh, do you want us to just move on to them? Okay, instead of.
no, we'll do it, we can do it however Jenna wants us to do
We,
it.
we generally do them separately, so we have an independent record.
It'll be cleaner for the record.
I'll take a motion to approve financial report.
Make a motion to approve the financial reports.
A second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Now we can move on to the program.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Anything to say, ma'am? You're involved.
I'm sorry, motion? What's your name?
Jay.
Councilmember Whitaker
Jay.
and Councilmember Camacho.
Yeah.
Second on that.
Okay, thank you.
I can send you.
We can send it to you after the meeting.
Yes,
so you
that's
don't
very
have-
helpful.
yeah.
Thank you so much. I
Yes, I'll go.
Face. Okay. So occupancy reports for Sheridan Housing Authority, we, mostly for November and December have been in the same spot. We're leased at 139 units or vouchers. Which puts us right about 96% of our budget authority, which isn't on here, but I'm pulling that from the last 2 year review that I did. That's right about where we want to be. We want to end the year somewhere between 95% and 100% of our budget authority. So 96 is perfect. At least for our purposes. I'd love to get us to 99 because that's just means we're spending all our money, but we will. So some other things to note, we leased up like 2 vouchers in December, but then we lost a couple. And then one of our portabilities that were billing us absorbed, so that means we aren't paying for that anymore. Any questions about the occupancy report?
Good.
So past that. You're gonna do this one? You gotta vote on this, please.
I'll take a motion. No, there's no questions. Take a motion to approve the program reports presented
So moved.
and a second, please.
A second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye. There's eyes on it.
Managers report, again for December, January, I don't know what time frame this is, January, February. Okay, so in January, the Inglewood Housing Authority appointed myself, Sherry Stinson, as interim executive director. And Kim Kerr and Jennifer Lambert have continued to work as co-acting deputy directors. Just today, we got the job posting for the permanent ED search posted, and we hope to have somebody in place by June. Due to my previous experience on the board, I'm not applying, so it will be somebody completely new in the role or internally, however they find the right candidate. And Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program, we continue to work to maximize the 2-year tool to monitor our Housing Choice Voucher Program. Sheridan was not in shortfall in 2025. We don't anticipate a shortfall in 2026. We opened the wait list for 2 days in January and we received about 640 applicants. Some of those are duplicates, so we expect it to be a little smaller. Have you already gone through that number?
I have not,
Okay.
still waiting on the reconciliation from the software company.
So we don't know, a few of them are duplicates, but not a lot. We still have a pretty good number. And in November, December, 3 families leased up from the wait list. We are absorbing port-ins to Sheridan, but did not have any new port-ins in December. Nor November, so. And currently we have 8 program participants who are in a repayment program due to falsely reporting their income. And so they are on a repayment plan. And at the end of 2025, we have, let's see, vouchers for 3 participants were terminated due to non-payment of their repayment agreement and their debts will be sent to collections. So we'll see that as either a write-off or a collection in 2026. Next step 2 gen program, referrals continue to come in for new families for potential support through the next step 2 gen program. 1 family was provided assistance in December. This is like a rapid rehousing program, right? No, no, I'm sorry.
It actually
Right, it helps people.
happens before rapid rehousing.
Okay.
So rapid rehousing is if somebody loses housing and we try to get them back into housing as quickly as possible. We try to catch them before they lose their housing with the next gen grant.
Gotcha. This one does sunset in March, though, at the end of March, and we expect to spend all of our funding by then. And then here's our list of contacts. If you guys have any questions or follow-up questions based on the information.
Anyone have any questions?
Yeah,
Okay. Go ahead.
can you explain the process of when someone gets terminated for non-repayment?
I will defer to Jen.
So, participants are under an obligation to report any changes in their income within 10 days of the date of the change. If that doesn't happen, we retroactively calculate how much rent they would have been paying based on like an income increase. So somebody gets a job, they don't tell me about it. If it comes up 6 months later, we then calculate for approximately 4 months because they do get a little bit of leeway around that change, but we calculate what they would have been paying for 4 months and they owe us that in overpaid subsidies. If it's under $5,000, we offer them a repayment agreement. If they default on that payment agreement twice, they get sent a letter that basically says you defaulted on your payment agreement. If you do not pay it in full, you'll be terminated from the program. If they don't do anything about that, then they are terminated from the program.
So vouchers, how many, you open up the books, and how many were available, and 6 are some?
We only leased up 2 since in December for Sheridan.
How
Yeah,
many are
so. Well,
We have an allocation, but we don't have funding for the entire.
yeah, so they don't necessarily fund all 181 vouchers.
Right, I remember.
So basically, it's hard. I'm struggling to answer your question with a number because we have about 4% of what our estimated budget authority is for the rest of the year, which could come out to maybe 20 vouchers, but I hate to like
Yeah, you don't have to be exact,
say like, we will issue that many vouchers this year.
and over 600 people applied.
Yeah, 600.
For Inglewood and Sheridan,
Yeah.
that's a combined.
Well,
We also are limited on our access to the two-year tool right now. To look at how much funding we will be getting, right,
We have a new 2-year tool.
the new two.
Yes.
The new two.
We do not have budget allocations past March. So it's hard for me to really speak in
I get it.
numbers that I don't have.
Yeah.
That is really trying to limit our overspending right now, or any spending, or
Right.
underspending, or any spending.
Any spending,
Yes.
yes.
Right. Okay, anybody else? Questions? I'll take a motion to approve the manager's report as presented.
Make a motion to approve the manager's report.
Thank you. And a
Second.
Oh, thanks, Mike. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So it's unanimous, and then any unfinished business?
No, the next thing is the resolution number 1,
Okay.
approving of the CMAP certification.
Vacation number 1. What to read that thing?
This is just an annual recertification of our section 8.
You can read it, because I don't have it in front of me.
Okay, read it for you, won't you? But, so it's just a recertification of our section 8, management assessment program. And we apply the rents from last year. We say we've complied with everything, and then we get a good score, and we try to maintain a good score.
You want it read?
I'll read
Okay.
the resolution, is that what you,
Please, yeah.
sure. Okay, so whereas the Sheridan
Okay.
Housing Authority, hereinafter known as the Authority, operates a Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program. And whereas under 24 CFR Section 985, the Section 8 Management Assessment Program, CMAP, has been established as an objective system for measuring housing authority performance and key Section 8 programs to enable HUD to ensure program integrity and accountability. And whereas the Sheridan Housing Authority must submit results on performance indicators as directed by HUD for the past fiscal year by March 1st, 2026. And whereas the Sheridan Housing Authority has compiled the required data for fiscal year 25 and its Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program in the CMAP certification. Now therefore be it resolved that Sheridan Housing Authority Board of Commissioners hereby approves the submission of HUD Form 52648 as attached and certifies to the accuracy of the information to the best of its knowledge. Approved and adopted on this 23rd day of February 2026.
Thank you. And I will entertain a motion to approve, resolution number 1, series of 2026.
Move to approve resolution 1, 2026.
In a second.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And there you have it. That was pretty easy.
And then the final thing is just an annual update on our family self-sufficiency report. So we have a family self-sufficiency coordinator who manages this program for both Sheridan and Inglewood. This program allows participants 5 years to complete all program requirements. The coordinator works with each participant to help them develop goals according to their interests, education, and employment history. The goals are anything to help them acquire a new job, pay off debt, become a homeowner, anything aligned with that. If a participant completes the program in less than 5 years, they can graduate early, or add additional goals to remain in the program. We establish and maintain an automatic escrow account, for each participant that grows as their rent increases due to their income increasing. And then upon graduation, the household is awarded that escrow account as a payout, and a reward for completing the goals. So we had 8 new enrollments in 2025, 4 in Sheridan and 4 in Inglewood. 6 potential clients and in Inglewood and 2 in Sheridan are at various stages of applying but have not finished the application. So we have more in the works. We allow previous participants to who did not complete the program to take a year break and try again if they choose to, but we did not have any re-enrollments in 2025. And then the graduates, we had 7 graduates from the program. And upon graduating, because rent costs are so high, they typically still need a voucher to afford housing, but their payments are typically, their personal portion of the payment is typically larger and they typically have a higher household income. And so we had 7 graduates who got an escrow ranging from just under $3,000 to just over $18,000 for completing the program. The 7 applicants or the 7 graduates were a single mother with 2 children, 3 single participants with no children, a single mother who obtained her commercial driver's license, and then a single father who completed his real estate agent training and is now working as an agent. We did have one person almost complete it, but she passed away. And so her daughter, who is now the primary caretaker of her son and is eligible to join FSS and complete her escrow if she chooses. And we had a couple contract terminations with escrow disbursements. So 3 Inglewood participants received contract terminations with escrow disbursements. 2 participants with medical issues enrolled in FSS, hoping they'd be able to return. And we're still waiting for them to re-enroll if they choose to. And then a single mother with 4 children was employed full-time and set a goal to complete it. But had some family issues. So she moved to be closer to family. She had an opportunity to port out to another state. And they are not accepting new FSS applicants at that time. So she wasn't able to complete it. And then we had a couple interim withdrawals. So if they have program goals that they need to hit that requires money, they can preemptively withdraw from their escrow account. And we had 4 people who we contributed to their funds, and 1 person was able to graduate last year. I think what we said about it. We did have a few extensions. One couple with a child who are in college was granted their 3rd 6-month extension. She completed her schooling, but now he is completing his schooling, and so they're working together on that. And then we had a couple non-graduate exits without escrow, who they are eligible to re-enroll in the future. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Okay, so let's see, the program consists of our FSS coordinator, myself, and the graduate of the program was established to serve in an advisory capacity. The main function will be to recommend the program improvements, review IHG's FSS action plan annually, and update as needed to reflect changes in the HUD regulations. We meet to begin discussing needed changes for the year, and update the action plan is completed and will be submitted to HUD for approval. And our FSS coordinator is working really hard to continue this program.
A nice program.
It is really.
Thank you. Cool. So we'll go ahead and adjourn. There's nothing else.
We just need to make sure that you sign that, and then other than that, no.
Everything's fine, and adjourn at the same time.
There we go.
So, do I need a motion to adjourn?
No.
No? So we're adjourned, and then we return to, at this time, we will, return to the session, and call to order February 23, 2026, work session. All council members are still present, and there we go. Just need the time. Oh, yes, you don't want to look at the time. No, can't tell the time. It's 18:23 or 6:23 if you were never in the military.
Mayor, if I may?
You may.
Thank you.
Absolutely, you're.
Moving on to our next item for the agenda, we're gonna be a little tight here today, but this is in addition to our agenda. As council will recall, we're refunding some general obligation bonds. And tonight with us, we have Bruce Kimmel, who's with Ellers and is our financial advisor on this, as well as we have Ashley Dennis, who's our bond counsel. She's with Kutak Rock and will be advising us on this. They have a pre-sale report that they'd like to go over with council tonight. And so I think I'll turn it over to Bruce. Are you kicking us off?
I can do that. Yes, thanks, Devin.
Okay.
Does everyone have the report there, or I can also share my screen, but it looks like I need to get sharing turned on.
We hold on, we forgot to hand them out, Bruce.
Okay.
They are going out as we speak.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, I will tell a few warm-up jokes first, Devin. Just kidding. Well, good evening, everyone. Bruce Kimmel with Ellers. It's nice to join you virtually. You have already seen this proposed refinancing in draft form at a city council meeting or work session a few weeks ago. And tonight is really just the next step of sort of receiving a more detailed financing plan and set of recommendations on how to proceed. And then also the bond ordinance that would essentially authorize us to work with bond counsel and with your staff in actually executing the financing and taking bids and considering bids on the city's behalf. So, excuse me, I won't go through this report in a lot of detail since I know you have a lot on your agenda. But this is a $24.4 million general obligation refunding. It is strictly refinancing your remaining 2016 and 2017 bonds. So there's no new money being issued for any new projects or obligations. It's solely looking to change out old bonds for new bonds at a better interest rate and to save the city and its taxpayers at least $2 million in future debt service. And so again, I won't go through this in a lot of detail unless you have questions, but again, we are just looking to change out old bond interest rates for new ones. We're not looking to change the remaining repayment term of either bond issue. The new bonds will be prepayable once again in 2035, so about 9 years from now. And if there's an opportunity again to refinance at that point, you would be able to refinance the last 7 years of the bond issue at even better interest rates. But these rates will never change after the sale that we're proposing to conduct on your behalf. Only you essentially get to decide whether and when to prepay bonds or to refinance them further. There's no interest rate resets or anything like that that can be imposed on the city. We will be going through the credit rating process. Devin, Teresa, and I just spoke earlier today about setting that rating call for Monday, March 9th. So that will be when we talk with Standard & Poor's about all the great things happening within the city and how stable your finances are. And I expect that your GO rating of AA-, general obligation bond rating that is of AA-, will be affirmed with flying colors. This will be a competitive bond sale, so we'll take bids on the city's behalf from underwriting firms all over the country. And then we'll determine using something called true interest cost or TIC, which bond underwriter presented the city with the best overall proposal. And then we'll be bringing that to the pricing committee led by Mr. Granberry as city manager for consideration on the afternoon of the bond sale. So I'm not going to go through a whole lot more here unless you would like me to talk at length about arbitrage rebate, which I'm guessing you don't. But because boy, is that an exciting topic. But again, moving on to the calendar, we are here tonight for the pre-sale review and consideration of the bond ordinance. Again, we will be meeting with S&P on March 9th. We would expect to distribute the official statement the week of the 16th. And then take bids and award the bonds to the winning bidder on April 1st. That might actually happen a little bit earlier. We just have to see how soon we can get the rating and get the official statement published ahead of the bond sale. But regardless, even if it is April 1st, we would look then to close the bonds on April 15th, and we might also be able to refund the old bonds on or around April 15th, but no later than May 1st. So one nice thing about this approach is that we do have some flexibility to look at market conditions and other factors and try to get this done as efficiently and effectively as we can for the city. So then finally, the last thing I would just note, if you want to scroll forward a few pages, there is a page after the written report that says debt service comparison. It's, I think, the third page of numbers. And here you can see the apples to apples comparison of the old debt service on the 16 and 17 bonds to the expected new. We have made our estimates a little bit more conservative just for these pre-sale purposes. I actually expect you will do better than this But you can see even with these more conservative assumptions, we are still showing net savings, net of all costs, to the city totaling just over $2 million. And again, I would hope to be closer to 2.3 or $2.4 million, and perhaps better. So with that, I would welcome any questions that you might have about this sale. And otherwise, I would also recognize that Ms. Ashley Dennis, your bond attorney from QTech Rock, is on the phone as well, or on the video screen. And she can answer any questions that you would have about the authorizing ordinance for this bond sale. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, if I might, I'll go over this, and Ashley, you can correct anything I get wrong, but I just wanted to talk really quickly about why we do this as an emergency ordinance. So normally, what is an emergency ordinance? An emergency ordinance only requires one reading in front of council, whereas a regular ordinance requires first and second readings, right? With time in between.
We don't have time.
And right. And so one of the things that is sensitive when you're issuing bonds are things like rates and other aspects of the bond market that you don't necessarily, once you put a package together and you have done all of the work that we've done here, it doesn't have a really big shelf life, right? Because things can tend to change. So we have always, anytime we've issued bonds or debt like that, we've always done it as an emergency ordinance in order that we can save time to getting to market, right? Because we just don't want too much time to pass, too many changes that happen in the market, any rate changes, and then all of a sudden our models might not make sense. And we don't want to do that. So we do this as an emergency ordinance just due to the time factor. We're not in an emergency, anything other than that. We just want to go quicker than going 2 readings before we take it to council. This is a very acceptable use of an emergency ordinance by cities and local governments for going through the process of going to the market and issuing bonds. So just wanted to clarify that, because sometimes the language can look a little alarming. Why are we declaring an emergency? Well, just because we want to go through this process and expedited review process of the ordinance. Did I miss anything, Ashley, or is that good?
No, I thought that was perfect. There's
right.
nothing to correct there. The only thing that I would add is I think it's particularly important during this this time period where the market is susceptible to fluctuations and just some unpredictability in the market. You have a really great opportunity to benefit from savings, and our taxpayers are going to benefit from the savings. But the ability to get to the sale, as Devin mentioned, is really important here. And so having that flexibility, having the time component taken into consideration here, we believe will benefit the city. And that's why we are requesting this to be approved as an emergency measure.
Thank you. Any questions on that and why we're doing it as an emergency ordinance? Okay.
Thanks for the explanation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know. I think that really kind of touches on everything. I'll ask Teresa, though, our finance director. Teresa, did you have anything that you wanted to add on this?
I think they covered everything beautifully, so I'm going to let the experts do that.
Very good. Thank you, Teresa. So, Mayor, I think that covers that item for us tonight.
Cool.
Unless there's any questions by council.
I kind of have a couple clarifying things. So on page 108, under the management's discussion, there's a piece there that says it's 2024. Should that be 2025?
And
I think, let me get there.
forgive me, are we in the preliminary official statement?
We're in the council packet, so that'd be page 28.
Oh, okay. So the reference there is the city's most current audit. And so the most current audit that we have for the city is the audit ending for December 31, 2024. And that is the audit that will attach as an appendix to this document.
Okay, I just saw 2025 on the dates on that. So that's why I wanted to clarify that. The
I
next
really
thing is-
appreciate you reading it, so thank you.
Yeah, next thing is on the bottom of page 109. So the next page, page 29. I think the voting needs to be clarified because I believe election day is the first Tuesday following the first Monday. This says the first Tuesday of April whatever month.
Which paragraph are you
Yeah.
in there, Michael?
Page 109, the packet, and then what's the heading?
I don't know. I didn't.
I'm trying to scan it.
Were you
and
looking
find
for
it.
notes, not the packet?
I'm looking on my notes.
Do you
So I think you're saying the last sentence where it talks about the election or the first Tuesday in November or odd numbered years. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
That should be correct. But let me just double check. I also want to note, and I apologize, I should have noted before, the drafts that are before you right now, they still have draft stamps on them on the preliminary official statement, the paying agent agreement, and the notice of sale. These documents are works in progress that we put before council so that you can see the substance of the deal. But these are by no means finalized. And so I really appreciate comments like these. We have the opportunity to review everything, double check everything, finalize everything before the documents are posted for pre-sale and marketing purposes. So this is a really good example. Let me go back and just double check. That reference should be correct as it's stated. But let me just double check and if not, we will get it corrected and it will show that correction in the next red line.
Perfect. And then on page 136, I might have been getting tired, but it's the last page, H3. And there's two references that says bonds.
Oh, I got that.
Are we in the same document?
H3.
It's gonna be page 136 of the packet, page H3 of your thing, and it accidentally has an extra bond in there, the second.
Oh, it
bond
does. I
needs to
see
be
it.
Deleted.
And there's twice, that's referenced twice like that.
Bonds.
Got it.
Okay.
Is that like a bonbon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, I remember those. Those are so good.
Thank you for catching those.
That was it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. We will get those cleaned up and ready to go when it's time to post this document. I appreciate you reading them and certainly communicating the comments.
Okay, I think we're good, yeah?
No more questions, anybody? Wordsmithing?
And I want to just reiterate, this is not your last bite at the apple. We certainly welcome any additional questions or comments or anything along those lines. These are very much in draft form, with the exception of the ordinance itself, which is finalized for your review and consideration and hopeful approval at the meeting. Toward that end, let me also just quickly note that in the ordinance itself, you're going to see the ordinance is set up as a parameters measure, which means that we have set ceilings. In section 4 of the document, you're going to see those ceilings. And as long as we are within those ceilings when we get to the sale date, we don't have to come back and bug you again for additional authorization. So Bruce had mentioned that we're looking at about a $24.5 million deal. You're going to see the number 25 million in this ordinance. It's just to give some cushion to allow for some flexibility so that we don't have to call an emergency special meeting of council on the date of sale. As long as we're within the parameters that are provided in this ordinance, that is the authorization that we need from city council. So I wanted to explain the differences between Bruce's numbers and what you're going to see in this ordinance. That's very intentional, and it's authorized by the statute to do this as a parameters measure. I'm certainly happy to answer any questions.
Thanks for pointing that out, but I did remember that. Because
When we did this last time. Yeah. Very good. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Bruce. Appreciate it. Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Okay. We got about 20 minutes left. Mayor, for the next agenda item, I was asking my department heads to just kind of give updates for the benefit of council, some of our new members on council, about just some of the things they're working on this year and things they might anticipate this year. So there's a little bit of a dump that we do every once in a while when we have the time to talk about these kind of things. So I think I'll ask the chief to go first, because I know he really wanted to go first. So- Chief, go ahead.
You want me to stand? You want me to sit?
Hey, whatever, dude, we're laid back. You can just sit, yeah.
All right, I'll just start over just a little bit. I don't know what all we want to go over, but, starting for the new members, some of this will be, we have an authorized staff of 34 sworn that consists of 1 chief, 2 commanders, a lieutenant, and 30, patrol personnel, which includes sergeants and officers. We also have a canine, unit, well, a person and a dog, and 2 detectives. Right now, currently, our staffing is at 29, so we're down 5 bodies right now, which is a lot for us. We do have 3 candidates that are in a background check right now, so if they check out, we can move forward and get them trained up. Our non-sworn civilian staff includes 1 victim assistance manager. We have 1.5 people in our records department. The other half of that person does the evidence tech, takes care of all of our evidence. Of course, we have 2 photo radar technicians, a part-time admin assistant. She does about 20 hours a month. And new for this year, we'll have a part-time crime analyst. So our calls for service are usually around 20,000 calls. That includes calls for service and calls that the officers initiate. That's usually per year, 20,000. That's quite a bit for a small department of our size. Last year, our number was just over 18,000. So we were a little less, but we were short on staff for most of last year. So that was a little reason why we're down on that as well. Our actions that our officers take, those are aimed at keeping our residents safe, while also maintaining positive relationships with our community. So, last year, we had a couple of homicides, 2 of them. That was a lot for us in Sheridan. We don't usually have 2 homicides. One of those homicides was the officer involved with the homicide. And most of us know what happened there, but our officers retreated. They used verbal commands. They used less lethal, tried 2 times, didn't work. Person wielding the machete, they had to neutralize the threat and unfortunately resulted in a homicide. The other homicide was one that we had over off of Zunai and Old Hampton. When that came in, we had no idea who that person was. Through some fantastic investigative work, our 2 detectives and the sergeant and others worked around the clock for several days, but within a couple of days, using their investigative skills and a lot of thanks to flock cameras, we're able to find out the vehicle, who the person was, and found other video that helped us with that. We had him arrested within 5 days, which is extremely good for an unknown assailant causing that homicide. We also had another attempt homicide, that was a family member on another family member, somebody dealing with some mental issues, and that happened shortly right after the other homicide. So it was a real busy time. We had a lot of different things going on. Our detectives were constantly doing a lot of work, working around the clock on some things and putting in a lot of overtime. They did some outstanding things. One of them was a recent time where an older person in our community gave almost their life savings, which is around, I believe, $70,000 sent cash. Because of the outstanding work of the detective, realizing that money could still be in transit, made phone calls, got some roadblocks at first, but eventually was able to get another police department to go in and intercept that package, got that money back. If that would have gotten in the hands of the bad guy, we never would have discovered that. So again, that's just an example of the outstanding work for our detectives. It's again, only 1 sergeant, 2 detectives, and I am extremely proud of them. They're 3 of the best people you can possibly have doing investigation work, and they're right here in our city. So we need to be proud of that. Just some numbers I wanted to throw out. Last year, we had 43 use of forces. That sounds extremely high, and it would be if we were talking about use of forces when I came on, where you used force to take someone down. Today, we record anytime an officer has to unholster their weapon. So we do a felony stop, a car comes back that's stolen or some other dangerous situation, our officers will take out their guns and challenge the person and get them back. Or they go to a burglary, and they're clearing a residence or a business, they take out their guns to make sure somebody pops out, they're ready to go. So those 43 use of forces include those, which is a large majority of those. Also, you know, anytime they use a taser, they take somebody down, that's included in there as well. We review all of the force incidents. They go through a supervisor, then they go through the lieutenant, and then they through one of the commanders. All of those were reviewed, and not one of them were excessive that we seem to have problems. Are there times where we look at other ways we can do things better? Absolutely, we're always trying to get better. As you all know, we have drones. Besides our big one, we did get a couple of smaller ones for fly inside buildings or houses if we need to, when that need arises. That's nice. We have the e-bikes that we use. We use the city's UTV on occasion. We do foot patrols. And we've been known to use Broken T golf course, their golf carts at times when we're down along their area, which for usually some homeless or other issues down there. Our mantra and SPD continues to be pursuing excellence. Everything we do, we have the intent of getting better. This includes our response for service, our knowledge of laws and procedures, training, our relationships with our citizens, and all the other things that we do. We have recently partnered with Red Rocks Community College. Most of you know, we have our new interns. We also have opportunities for continuing education for our officers. I'm sure other city staff if we'd like to. We're currently doing some recruiting with Red Rocks Community College. Already one of the interns wants to know how they become one of our officers, which we're happy and thrilled about. Arapahoe Community College, we've been going to their campus and talking about our department, also Pueblo Academy and Alamosa's Academy. Most of you know this stuff, but for our community outreach, we have last year and we'll continue doing this year. We've had coffee with a cop at Starbucks. We had Target meet and greets. We had the Spanish speaking academy. We have a reading program at Alice Terry where we give 2 bikes out to the 2 students who read the most books. We've had a pumpkin giveaway this year, which was new for us. We did Thanksgiving dinner for residents at Extended Day. We had 2 different turkey giveaways in partnership with Roof Evolution and 5280 Metal Supply. And Costco also jumped in. They gave us the second round of turkeys that we were able to give out. We have a shop with a cop that happens because of Western Metals, Lucy's Guy, Roof Evolution, and 5280 Supply. And we also have a program called Targets, Heroes, and Helpers, where we also sponsor some kids and go buy them some gifts. So we still do the backpack and ice cream giveaway. That's in conjunction with Precious Child. And we did help out with Ari and some of the others on Bike to Work days. We do have an upcoming senior luncheon because we wanted to work with our seniors, and we're going to do a small lunch and also give them some crime fighting prevention strategies. Of course, we have our police and Night Owl car show that is getting bigger every year. Your National Night Out, and we also do Faith with Police, where we partner with some of the existing faith organizations and do some things around there with them. We also have strong community partnerships or relationships with other people outside of our city. RTD, Adriana just recently applied for a grant. She got a grant where we now have vouchers that we can help people that are struggling with traveling and getting around the city or across the city.
Was there about like $2,000 for that, chief, or 1,700?
Yeah, about 17.
But it bought a good number, like 60 vouchers or something,
It's
or
quite
more than
it's
that.
quite
I
a
can't
good
remember.
number of vouchers.
Yeah.
We'll keep track of those and have that information back. Of course, we work with Sheridan Schools, the Recreation Center, the library, and a lot of local businesses. Other partnerships outside of our city include, of course, Fort Logan and Mullen High School. We go over there and talk to their kids every once in a while. We have real good partnership over there. And also with Loretta Heights. Loretta Heights is growing, as we know. And my neighbors happen to be the ones who bought the building, and they have a nonprofit organization called Commune. They recently asked us to go over and have lunch over there. I met them in the morning when I was coming to work, and so I said I'd take a couple commanders myself down there. As we were going to go, or just before we we're gonna go, she called and said, "Oh, I don't know if that's the wisest thing to do with ICE. We have a lot of Spanish speaking people. They may be afraid that you're coming." And I said, "We won't go if you don't want us to go. But I think we're missing out on a valuable opportunity to have interactions, positive interactions." And after about 30 to 45-minute conversation, we decided, let's try it. It was so great because when we got there, a lot of people that were there helping with their giving out food and some of the different things that they're doing, they were actually Sheridan residents, and they were so happy to see us. And a lot of Spanish speaking people coming up, hugging us, and the directors there couldn't believe the relationship that we had. And some of the comments of the people that were there is, we love the Sheridan Police Department, they're so good. And some of them that lived in Denver said, we wish we had Sheridan PD responding. So that's your police department in action, doing positive things within our community and breaking down those barriers. Because if I would have just sat back and said, okay, we're not going, we would have missed out on a great opportunity. So that's one of the things we do. Of course, we have relationships with the IACP, which is the International Association of Chiefs of Police, Colorado Association of Chiefs of Police, Metro Chiefs, Colorado Auto Theft Prevention Authority, the DTC Optimus Club, Daniels Fund Scholarships. I serve on their board. And of course, our fantastic partners at the VFW 9644, they really help us out. So we're committed to maintaining a professional agency that serves our community, and we make a difference. And it's unrealistic for us to be perfect, but we will always pursue excellence. So any questions? I'm sorry I went through that quick, but I know how much.
That's good.
Yeah.
That was good. One other item that we've been looking at in the last year, moving into this year, is the flock camera system. Yeah, or some manner of a system like that. Right now, that is those items, the state legislature is looking at that very, very intently right now. And there's a couple of bills that are floating around down there, depending on how and if they come out of the process, would make flock cameras somewhat impractical potentially. So we have just kind of pumped the brakes, set timeout. We were at the point where we had an initial contract that we were looking at bringing into council pretty quick, shortly. That was around December-ish. But with what we're seeing happening down at the Capitol, we've, like I said, kind of hit the timeout button. Let's see what happens down there before we decide, or how we decide to move forward on that. And we had a meeting, the chief and I had a meeting with the flock people, and they said that's what we would do. Everybody's in a kind of wait and see mode on that right now, just to see what happens at the state level right now. So that's another thing that we're looking at and may still bring forward, depending on what happens.
So we didn't buy the 6 cameras that we were talking about.
No, the chief and I, we met, we discussed, I kind of shared with the chief some of my concerns about what we were hearing out there, just around around the contracts. And then when we heard that there was potentially, and now there is, legislation to be introduced that would make it completely impractical to have a system, then we decided to say, okay, hold on, let's see what happens. Yeah, and like I said, even the flock people are like, we don't blame you one bit. So. Okay.
I don't blame you either. This is
Thank
something
you.
we at Metro Mayor's caucus, we discussed it. Dr. Cobb, we discussed it, and they chose not to support any of those at either place.
No.
So, and I think there's a lot of things that's going on down at the Capitol building that, both Metro Mayors and then also Dr. Cog are not supporting or just waiting to see if they're being amended and what have you, because there's a lot of things going through that basically are taking local control from cities and giving it, giving state override to something that we as a city should be controlling. So.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you did that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Of course. And we'll continue to keep council abreast of that situation and how that legislation is moving forward and what options we have moving forward after this. So. Jeremiah, do you want to give him a brief public works rundown? We're probably not going to get to everybody. Andrew gave his kind of year end anything. So you guys have already kind of gotten the update from community development on that. So I'm gonna let public works go, and Kathy, if we get to you, you can do it.
I'll try to be quick, respect for colleagues' time, but so Zach, Schooley is with me. He's the street supervisor, so he kind of helps manage public works, which is a big lift. So at a very high level, I'm just going to explain basically public works. What is that? It consists of streets, stormwater, utility facilities, code enforcement, fleet, CIP and engineering, special events and emergency response. So those are our core functions that we're responsible for. There's a lot I could go into, but I'm gonna try and just keep this, to this year, what we're trying to focus on for each of these groups. So for streets, we're going to focus on our internal program for thermal pavement markings, and legends that you see on the road, the markings that, kind of give you direction on what to do. We're going through and inspecting and replacing those as needed. There are standards that we need to adhere to, for that. We're also kind of changing a few things about what streets does, and one that I'm excited to explain to everybody is we've decided that we want to develop and implement a city right-of-way revitalization. So our focus is going to be kind of cleaning up the city, graffiti, weeds, those sorts of things that are within the right-of-way. I feel like it's important since our code enforcement focuses on that with residents and business owners that we too need to follow those same standards. So we're going to focus a lot on that. We're going to do alley spot gravel resurfacing program. So going through and cleaning up our alleyways and making sure that they're passable and can be graded and added gravel as necessary. I know that it hasn't been done in a while. We're also going to focus on trip hazard mitigation, which will be like sidewalks and those sorts of things. So anything over a 1/4 inch, technically, we need to be looking at and trying to address those issues. And again, there's a multitude of things that go into that, but at a high level, that's the focus for streets. For the stormwater utility, there's some big things happening there this year. Our plan is to do an asset inventory, inspection and cleaning of all of our underground utility, meaning the pipes and the inlets and those sorts of things. We need to understand what do we have, what kind of condition state is it in, and make sure that it's functional to the intended design. So that's going to be a big lift. And then we're also going to be focusing on a fee schedule analysis that kind of relates with that, making sure that, stormwater is a utility. So it needs to be solvent, and we need to make sure that we're collecting the correct amount of fees to cover the cost of maintaining that utility.
And I'm sorry to interrupt, but that's something we've been intending and wanting to do since pre-COVID, just about. And we were getting close to a new rate model and looking at those kind of things, and that's when COVID hit. And you just don't implement a new rate model on people in the middle of COVID. You just don't. And so that's been kicked down the road quite a bit, but we're really focusing on getting that done this year.
Yeah, and stormwater, is heavily regulated, so it's important for the city to do this and make sure that we're doing things appropriately. It's always evolving. Then we have facilities, so we're going to focus on trying to pressure wash all of the buildings and do basically structural inspection to make sure our grout and those sorts of things are in good order. We're also, this is related to stormwater, going to be doing a deep dive into our what's called an MS4 permit. We're going to be doing an assessment and any maintenance and repair that comes out of that assessment. So even though we're a government entity, we're still required to permit our facilities and make sure that we're following best practices when it comes to runoff mitigation and collection. So we're going to go through that process. Obviously, we've been working on the energy audit improvements that started last year. Those will continue into this year, focusing in on the solar and the HVAC components of that. And so that's a continuation. And then we're also going to be working on the PD locker room planning and design, and hopefully construction, just depending on where we land with that. So moving on to code enforcement, we're implementing a route enforcement and reporting system, just basically kind of changing the way that we look at going through the city and addressing code enforcement issues and being more consistent with the delivery of that service. So we've started that last year. We're just going to continue refining that so we can report out on it. And so that folds into the process of form redesign and just looking at how do we issue citations. This is work that's being done in collaboration with the attorneys, making sure that we're doing best practice and providing opportunity for the community to respond to that. And then we're going to work on doing some code and animal outreach this year as well. There's more to come on that. I don't really have all that figured out, but I think that's important as we kind of redefine our processes. Moving on to fleet. So fleet, every year focuses on acquisition and disposal of fleet and equipment assets. We do have some of those that we're going to be doing this year. And that leads into kind of the next big thing is, since I started here, I've really been trying to understand what equipment do we have. Zach's played a big role in this, helping me understand what is our need. And as we change our process and focus areas, we need to make sure that we're equipped to do that efficiently. So right now we're focusing on downsizing, and I know that's a scary word sometimes, but it's really to be more efficiently based on our utilization. Like if we're not using something all the time, do we really need to own it or can we rent it? Just being more prudent with that. Lastly, leading into the CIP and the engineering focus points for this year is going to be the permitting process refinement. So looking at the way that we issue right-of-way permits, street cut permits, those sorts of things, what the requirements are for those that are the permittees. And then the inspection and validation process to make sure what's going back is good and that we have the best return on that. We're going to focus on concrete repairs and what I call gap construction. So areas where there are missing places of sidewalk, curb and gutter. We want to focus on that. We can't get everything done this year, but we're going to start whittling away at that list and making sure that we're filling those gaps. We're going to be converting our line striping, meaning the lines on the road, to repaint those. We're going to a better product that lasts longer. We're going to try and do everything we can in thermal plastics, just because of the durability of that. We're also getting ready to put out an asphalt full depth patching program. This will be just major road deficiencies that we need to dig up and repair in advance of doing bigger like overlay work and that sort of stuff. So that leads into the slurry seal program. We'll be putting out to bid select streets. Unlike what we did last year with the reclamite, we can't target every roadway. So we're going to have to go through, I'm going to be doing a very detailed inspection on, there's probably more roads that need it than we have the capability of doing. So we need to prioritize that. So that's going to be a focal area for me. And then we have the Natchez crossing improvements, which has been a legacy project that's going to hopefully get completed this year and get that crossing, the rail crossing done. So those are the hot topics.
All right, Mary, if you don't mind, I'd like to give Kathy some time to do court, if you don't mind, if we start a little bit late.
I don't.
Okay, because I made Kathy stay just to do this. So I get,
I'll just
yeah.
do like our projects.
Go for it.
Okay, so that we have this year. So the judge is going to meet with the Julie Hall from Hat Force this Friday to explore additional partnership opportunities. The court is working on getting a collections agency on board so that we can collect unpaid fines. And we're going to meet to enhance efficiency and confirming sensing terms and conditions. Example is community service. We're trying to redo that a little bit. And we're going to put a online payment option in place this year. So, and probably pretty soon. So, so those are just a quick project.
Thank you for doing that. No, I appreciate that.
Those two.
No. Well,
No.
no, that's good. I appreciate you doing that. Thank you.
No worries.
Do you want to do it upstairs? Or do you want to do it or not? What is your?
I can do mine upstairs during.
Okay.
That's fine.
City clerk can do hers upstairs, and then Andrews, you've already heard. So, I mean, basically, are you good with that, Andrew? Yeah, okay, good.
We have communications.
And we have comms. Okay, so we can do comms upstairs during my manager's report.
I should just do that real quick up there. Okay, we didn't need to go back up. Yeah.
Great.
Thank you all.
If it's time, we'll go ahead and adjourn this meeting and meeting will be upstairs. Oh, 4/19 o'clock.
That's yours. Oh, there you go.
Being in the nurse and being in the military. Better catch up. and stuff is-
I do know the military side. My dad was in the Air Force, so I did learn that.
Well, even if
Yeah.
you don't put 7 a.m. from here, then you
Change upstairs to host.
computers are set.
President. There you go. Yeah. Why not? There it goes. Okay, very good.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and, call the February 23rd, 2026 regular meeting of the city council to order at 7:11 PM. And we'll go ahead and let's,
Madam Mayor, is your microphone on?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. Should I do it again? You want me to say all that again?
No, you're good. I can hear you now. You're good.
Okay.
Perfect.
Gisela, can you hear me? Go ahead and do your thing. I don't know, is she there? She might have. There you are. Go ahead and do your introduction.
To turn off interpretation. Oh, awesome. Thank you.
There we go.
Yes, interpretation was on. I'm like, turn it off. Okay, just thank you for practicing language justice. We're going to be using simultaneous interpretation. So when I finish saying this in Spanish, we're going to turn on interpretation. Make sure to select your preferred language if it's English or Spanish. And if you're bilingual, you don't have to use our services. Una vez más, gracias por practicar la justicia del lenguaje. Vamos a estar usando la interpretación simultánea. Cuando termine de decir esto, van a aprender interpretación, así que seleccione su idioma preferido, ya sea inglés o español. Si es bilingüe, pues no necesita usar nuestros servicios. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much. You can go ahead and turn on interpretation.
Thank you. All council members are present this evening. And I would ask, will you please stand and join me in the invocation followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Dear God, may we honor one another by keeping an open mind. May we voice our truth and listen with an open heart. May we discern your will to unite in fruitful outcome. We ask for your wisdom and grace to use our talents for the betterment of others. We thank you for your role in the creation of our Constitution and Bill of Rights, and pray for the insight into how this binding document protects all citizens with its, hold on. And protects all citizens with its righteous forethought. We pray you will embed the structure of the United States Constitution in our hearts, business, and decision-making process. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, we have the agenda approval. City Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
No changes to the agenda, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. I will entertain a motion for to approve the agenda. And a second, please.
Madam Mayor, we don't do the approval on that. You're good.
It's here.
That's for financial reports. They beat you because I moved it. My apologies.
Never mind.
They're really quick.
Okay. So then, should we go back? City Clerk, are there any changes to my paper here in front of me?
Madam Mayor, there are not any changes to the agenda this evening.
Okay, then we will receive and file the financial reports. Are there any questions for the financial reports, anyone? No questions? I see that Michael and Moreno, Councilman Moreno and Councilwoman Desiree Stang have given us a motion and a second. Go ahead and we will take a vote. Oh, you guys are killing me. Uh-oh. I didn't do it.
Mic drop.
Let me. having a technical difficulty.
His is like.
It's not working. No, mine kind of froze up.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh, there we go.
Weird.
Oh, yep, there we have it. 7, that is passed. All 7 of us have voted. So now we're going to do the approval of where we are now.
Where's staff support?
On to the staff report. Just checking. Next, we'll have the staff report, then we'll start with the city clerk, because she seems to be the one that wants to mess up everything.
And before you go, City Clerk, Mayor, if it's okay, and if the council will allow, we'd like to continue some of the staff updates as part of this session right here. We'll do them quickly, but I wanted to give everybody opportunity to update council on some of the items that they're working on.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you, Madam Mayor. So a few of the projects in the city's clerk's office this year, we are working on a public access view module that will be on our website. So similar to other counties and cities, you may see like where you can go and you can search for an address and it'll pull up all the permits that are attached to that address. We're working on getting that integrated with our records management system so that people can go to our website and look up their property and pull their permits. So hoping to have that in place by the end of the year. Another big project that we're working on is the website upgrade. So some of you may recall that digital accessibility has become a really big thing and making sure that everything is ADA compliant. So our website, we are working to update that to make sure that it is also ADA compliant. And then also doing the digital accessibility so that every document that is on our website can be read with a screen reader. So we're working on some different items with that. The other big item that we have coming in is we're going to be doing the voting service polling center again with Arapahoe County this year. So you'll be able to vote in person here at City Hall again. And then another big item that we have is that we are going to move the ballot box that is in the parking lot currently. So right now when you come in, it's not very convenient if you're on the driver's side of your vehicle. You have to get out, you got to walk and put your ballot in. We are working with Arapahoe County to get it moved to our center island so that people can just drive up and you can put it in from your driver's side and continue on driving. We seem to get a little bit of congestion when we have the ballot box open and people just parking everywhere. So we're working with them to kind of make it safer and also more accessible. So
Tell them why they did that in the first place, why they put it there in the first place.
it's located there for the cameras to make sure that they have a 24-hour surveillance on it. So we have brought out Arapahoe County to make sure that they will get surveillance on that main island. And we're also going to talk to the post office about moving their box, just trying to make things more convenient for people and not having to park in the Circle Drive. And
yeah, we wanted them to put it in a better place when they first put it in, but they could only get a good camera angle if they had it in that location. Now we got more cameras, better cameras, all those kind of things, so they can move it into a better spot.
yes, so we're hopeful that that will happen in, I guess, July of this year. So working on that. Other big item is the city council retreat. So we have picked our dates. It's going to be April 3rd to the 4th. I have some lovely save the dates for you that I'm going to hand you out so you have all the information, but we are going to be going to the Monarch and Blackhawk.
Yay.
We'll have more information to come. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Should we go ahead and have city attorney?
Yes, Madam Mayor. So I'll give a brief overview very quickly of what the city attorney's office does. We attend obviously the council meetings, the planning and zoning commission meetings, any special meetings you have, we'd be there as well. I'm the official city attorney who's appointed. Brandon Dittman is a partner in our firm, and he is the deputy city attorney. And from time to time, you're going to also get to meet Jeff Wilson. He is one of the founding partners of our firm. He spent over almost 30 years, I believe, as general counsel for Colorado Municipal League. And then since that time, he has just been living law firm life, actually, representing individual entities around the state. So he'll actually be here on March 23rd. So you'll get to meet him there, and he'll also be present at the retreat, and he will provide a presentation there as well to you all. I will also give a presentation there. So those are the three main ones of us you'll see, but sometimes our other associates pop in as well. So they'll always introduce themselves to you all. We also prepare ordinances and resolutions, or we review them. For example, your planning department does a really great job with a lot of their land use resolutions, and we often just review those, but we draft them for other things. We prepare and review contracts for the city, respond to legal inquiries from council and staff. We monitor litigation against the city, and we provide legislative updates at the end of the session and ensure that your ordinances are in compliance with new state law. And federal law, obviously, as well as that ever would apply. So that's in a nutshell what we do. And other than that, I don't have anything else for now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we'll city manager, and at this time, do you want to have, maybe Andrew?
I do, Mayor. I want to do just one or two really quick updates, and then I'm going to ask Wendy, our communications manager, to kind of do her summary really quick. I attended the CML legislative workshop with Councilmember Moreno last week. It was very good, and to the mayor's point during our work session, there's a lot of stuff out there that is looking on infringing on local control, land use, data collection, courts, all kinds of things right now. So it is, it's going to be a very active session. There's going to be a lot of things that we're trying to keep track of. And we'll try and keep council abreast of what's going on there. If anything too crazy starts to happen down there. In case you don't receive them already, you can go on to the Colorado Municipal League website, cml.org. So cml.org, and you can sign up for their weekly updates, the legislative updates, any manner of things that they have that you can sign up if you don't receive them already. I think a lot of folks probably get them already, but just in case you don't, it's a good thing to go sign up for in your email, and that helps keep you abreast of what's going on down at the state legislature, especially. One other quick item I've got is just the old cell tower site that we had at the Public Workshops site is being demolished. Thank you, finally. If you'd gone back by the shops there, it was a little fenced off area in our Public Works yard. We got rent for that. It wasn't very much. But it got to the point where nobody was, I think it was a Sprint tower. I'm not exactly sure. Was it Sprint, Ari? Yeah, it was a Sprint tower, and they no longer need it, and the lease would run out. So they're going to actually demo it and remove it at their cost, which is nice. And that gives us some more yard space over at our public workshop. So it's well worth losing the small amount of revenue we got off the rent to have some more room over there. So we're glad that that's happening. At this time, Mayor, I'd like to go ahead and turn over my time over to Wendy.
Good evening, Council. As your Communications and Community Engagement Manager, I handle media calls, press releases, public events, and all the social media for the city and the police department. I run the TV monitors that are in the hallway upstairs, and I also produce a monthly newsletter, and we have it translated into Spanish, and once it's translated, then I rework it. It's called the Sheridan Spotlight. It's up by about 70 subscribers so far since I took over. Focuses on the people, places, and events that are happening in Sheridan. We get school events, South Suburban contributes, the library contributes events, and then we get to add cool things too. Recently, I got to go along with some canine training where our officers got to see what life was like next to Bones when he's in a high stress situation. So that's the kind of content that we'll put in the newsletter. We recently got some more media coverage. Fox 31 was up here last week doing their Support the Shield series in Sheridan, profiling Hans, who runs our photo radar van. So I'll let you guys know when that story makes the airwaves. It should be this week. I'll send you a link. That is also something I would put in a newsletter and post on social. Just another cool example of some of the stories that we post. Last month, we had an officer who responded to a call of a stolen bike from a hearing impaired woman. So Officer Ralph went to Target and bought her a new bike with his own money. Oh. He didn't want any attention for it. He didn't even want his name used. He didn't want to post it. The chief had to convince him that we could at least post it and not show his face. So just a great example of some of the things that we're doing in Sheridan that make it so special. Coming up, so excited for the summer. We've picked our dates for movies in the park, June 5th, July 10th, and then we're going to skip 2 months and do kind of a Halloween theme and do our third movie in the park in October. We thought that might be kind of cool to skip the heat of August and September and then do a Halloween theme. We're talking about some ward events coming up, Park Palooza in Ward 2, perhaps a dance party in Ward 3. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know. We're talking about it. Excited about that. National Night Out and Sheridan Celebrates are the other two big events where I'm involved in promotion. So I'm looking forward to continuing to grow our social media channels and really want to promote our newsletter in Spanish. I don't think people realize that we have an entire newsletter that they can read from beginning to end in Spanish. So we have this that I take to events. Breaking news for our newsletter, there's a QR code, and then on the back we have it in Spanish. So it's great for me to travel with when I'm going to public events. So that's a goal for 2026. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy.
Wendy.
Andrew, I know I said, was there anything special that you wanted to update council on as part of this, or are you good? Do you want to? Okay, yeah, of course.
Right. Good evening, council. So just have a quick update tonight. I'll keep it short and sweet because we presented 2 meetings ago on our kind of end of year wrap up summary. Just wanted to remind council, we've kind of settled on that kind of twice a year reporting. So we'll do that in January and then again in July. So with our department, projects tend to move a little bit slower. So twice a year tends to capture all of the updates there. I do have a copy of that report if anybody'd like one tonight. Overall, just wanted to talk about our department structure. So as you know, I'm Andrew Rogge, Community Development Director. I've been with the city for about 10 years now, and since 2019 as a full-time employee. We also have Ari and Nathan in the department, who are 2 city planners. We hired both. They both started as interns while they were working on their planning degrees. And then we have Jess Bradshaw, who's our chief building official. So he conducts all of our plan review and inspections when we get a permit application in. And then we have Amy, who's our permit tech, who helps process those permits and coordinate inspections and many other things for the department. She also does the translation into Spanish for the newsletter. So it's nice we're able to do that in-house. Beyond that, we also have Alex Tiscareño with Groundwork Denver, who's a full-time employee over there. Alex manages our about $500,000 a year grant through GoCo for all of the environmental programs for youth in the community. You've also met Mel England and Aidan Lawton, who run our sustainability programs for the city. They're both in about 1 day a week with us. And then beyond that, we have Jen with IMEG. They provide all of our GIS or Geographic Information System services. And then Chuck Dreesen is our city engineer. So we work pretty closely with him when we have new development applications come through the city. And then beyond that, those are kind of our main consultants that we have kind of on-call contracts with. Beyond that, we do a lot of project-based consultant work. So if we're doing a housing needs assessment or something else, that's typically where we do an RFP and then hire a consultant. Right now, we have Matrix Design Group working on the second phase of our housing needs assessment. And then finally, our department serves as the staff liaison to Planning Commission. So we work pretty closely with Planning Commission, organizing those meetings and all of the hearings very closely with the city attorney's office. So that is my update for you all tonight. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Andrew. Mayor, that's all we have right now, but happy to answer any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, please, Chief.
Nothing additional, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. You gave us a really nice report. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks for all the good stuff you guys are doing. I really appreciate it. We're doing a lot of stuff here in the city. It's kind of exciting.
And thank you, Mayor. That reminded me. So we will do at our retreat, we'll do some goal setting, which will be looking at some of these again, but at a higher level in prioritization, giving an update where we are on those. So we'll have another opportunity to talk about some of these different projects and processes and things in more detail.
Nice. Speaking of, I was cleaning out my office this weekend and found several years ago when we did the strategic planning for the roads and the turning all the lights. That was one of the goals that we had set, was to turn over all of our lights to energy efficient lights and what have you.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's kind of cool. We're going to be doing it again. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Thank you. Next, we have approval of minutes, minutes of the regular city council meeting of January 26, 2026. Are there any questions on the minutes? No. There's a motion and a second. Please go ahead and cast your vote. That passes as well. Consent agenda. Approval of disbursements, authorized disbursements that have been or will be made from January 16th, 2026 to January 31st, 2026 in the amount of $899,530.97 per the referenced and attached transfer of funds. Authorized disbursements that have been or will be made from February 1st, 2026 to February 15th, 2026 in the amount of $706,054.26 per the referenced and attached transfer of funds. Are there any questions on the consent agenda? Keeping in mind, since we didn't have a meeting last time, that's why we're doing two of them at one time. Hearing none, we have a motion and a second. Go ahead and cast your vote.
All touched out.
Here we go. It has passed as well. Get it? We're good. I don't. That was kind of slow, but on my part too. On my screen here. Items for individual consideration. Next, we have items for individual consideration. Tonight, we have an emergency ordinance 3-2026. An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Sheridan, Colorado, authorizing the issuance of general obligation refunding bonds, Series 2026, in the aggregate principal amount not to exceed $25 million, providing for the form and other details in connection with the bonds, fixing the maximum net effective interest rate on the bonds, providing for the levy of ad valorem taxes for the payment of the bonds, authorizing, approving, and directing the execution and delivery of documents relating to the bonds, creating certain funds and accounts, ratifying actions previously taken in connection with the issuance of the bonds, providing other matters properly relating thereto, and declaring an emergency. Are there any questions on ordinance 3-2026? Are there any staff comments?
The only comment I have is just for the record and for people who are in the front over here. This was the presentation regarding this was discussed during the work session. So there was a presentation to explain what it was and everything. So council's heard that.
And I'd like to thank council just for your consideration of this and work and hard work on this and, considering taking these measures to help save the taxpayers over $2 million on this debt.
Always a plus. Is there anyone from the public who would like to speak on ordinance 3-2026? Seeing none, we have a motion on from Councilman Whitaker, the second from Councilman Moreno. Go ahead and cast your votes. You might have to bring some sage and run over it there, Desiree. Just saying. If anybody's got any sage, it's going to be Desiree. Oh, how funny. That passes as well. Let's see. Next, we have Resolution 7-2026, a resolution of the City Council of Sheridan, Colorado, approving an intergovernmental agreement between the City of Sheridan and Adams County Health Department for the Love My Air Colorado Local Entity Air Network Clean Project. Are there any questions? Is it Commissioner Levy? Is that her? No, from that is also involved in this. We talked about it at Dr. Cog last week, and she kind of explained the whole thing and that they were going into it.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Ari.
I just have a question. That's
Yep.
my only question. Is that who it is? It's Thanks.
I don't have an answer to that question. I'm sorry.
Never mind then.
I don't know. It's just a staff level. We've been working on this for
Right.
4 years now.
Yeah, I
so-
actually got to hear all about it last week. I filled in at Dr. Cog. It's kind of cool.
Well, that's really exciting to
It's
hear.
very
They're
exciting.
talking about it. Too.
It's saving our air.
Yes.
Mayor, if it's okay, is it all right if
Absolutely.
Ari gives us just a brief
I would
overview?
love that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you. Good evening. Yeah, so just high level overview about this project. So city's been working on it since 2022 with then Tri-County Health Department. Tri-County applied for the EPA grant that was awarded and then they immediately dissolved. So Adams County took over as the administrator. The grant is over now, so we're just trying to keep the project going. So the city's received over $6,000 worth of infrastructure, being the portable air quality monitors that are at the library. We have never paid for the lease of the 2 monitors in the park or at the Broken Tee Golf Course, so this will be kind of the beginning of that. So, and then I think the most important thing is the access to the data analyst and like air quality experts at their health department. Our health department doesn't have that right now.
Right.
So, yeah, happy to answer any specific questions, but Andrew just passed you all some educational materials that the project created. And I think the big exciting thing I heard about at our last meeting is we're going to work on like an ambassador program. So trying to get more community members involved that will then educate more community members. Yeah.
Very nice. Any questions for Ari? Hearing none, we have a motion, Councilman Camacho, thank you. A second from Councilman Moreno. We can go ahead and cast it. And that passes as well unanimously. Next, we have Resolution 8-2026, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Sheridan appointing Shaviv Gallegos to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Are there any questions on Resolution 8-2026? Are there any staff comments?
I'd just like to thank Shaviv for stepping up and volunteering to be a member of our Planning and Zoning Commission. For those of you who might not know, Shaviv served on where you sat for us before, and we're glad to get her back with the city and serving again. So thank you, Shaviv.
Okay. Chevy, would you like to come up and say a few words, please? Not that I'm putting you on the spot, Chevy, but I am. Thank you.
Is this on? Can you hear me? Yes, thank you so much, Mayor. I appreciate the opportunity to be in a position where I can serve my community in this capacity. For those of you that don't know, I was able to move to the city of Sheridan because of decisions that planning and zoning and city council had made over a decade ago to build the Sheridan Square development with Habitat for Humanity. And so since I know those decisions were so important and changed the trajectory of my life, I would love to be able to get back and serve in this capacity. Yeah, so I appreciate your consideration and look forward to serving Sheridan.
That's a great reason. Thank you. Thank you for stepping up. We appreciate it. We're excited to have you back.
Thank you.
Back on board, so thanks.
Do y'all have any questions for me?
Anybody have any questions for her? Cool.
Thank you.
We have a motion, Councilman Moreno, and a second by Councilman Whitaker. We can go ahead and cast our votes. I'm pretty sure that's going to be unanimous as well. Thanks. Well, maybe not. Oh, there we go. Yes, yes, it is. Thank you very much, Sherry. We really appreciate it. Next we have, the semi-annual report for the, volunteer fire pension board.
Yeah, and Mayor, this is not for action. Oh, it is? This one is? Oh, just that they received? Okay, you don't have to. Okay, go ahead.
So good evening,
Okay.
everyone. We're twice a year we are required, the volunteer fire is required to present to the city council in February and in August. And so this is the year-end report that we have in front of you tonight. Where we're looking at is that third column. It says projected January through December. That should actually say actual January through December. So you can see where we had the $50,000 city contribution that then went on to FPPA as our match. And then if you move on down to the pension fund, you can see our beginning balance of $307,589. The contributions that you see of the 73,194, what that is that is the 50,000 from the city. And then every year the city applies for a matching grant from the state. And that amount is 23,194. So we applied for that and got that, and that was submitted. The net benefits to the volunteers was 66,734. We had interest and dividends and other revenue of 10,574. We had unrealized gain of 7,306, and we had a realized gain of 7,961. We had fees and expenses in 2025. It was an actuarial year, so that's why they're a little higher. And that was 8,983. So our ending fund balance is $330,906. And I'm going to have you look one column to the left. That was the budget, and we had projected that we were going to end with 296,343. So it's always good to end up higher than where you planned on. So that is the annual report that we have for you guys tonight. Did you have any questions?
Anyone? Questions?
Nope.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We do have a motion on the floor, Councilman Moreno, and second by Councilman Camacho. We can go ahead and cast our votes. Or not. Mine's not doing anything.
Yeah, my screen is still stuck on just the semi-annual report page.
All right, all of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All of those opposed?
Hearing none, that passes.
Yeah, really what we just have to show is that we presented this to the board is what this is. So, yeah. I will point out though, one item on this is that, so you see the city contribution at 50,000. That is an overmatch. So we contribute more than we're required to actually into this FPPA fund, or into, not FPPA, I'm sorry, the Volunteer Firefighters Fund. And that is because for a number of years, the city had underfunded this fund. And so we committed and gradually, I think this was about when I started, we started committing a little bit more each year and then brought it up to a level of 50,000 per year. What we're required to be at is that 23,000 something that you saw there. Had continued to catch up and build up that contribution. And then the council, probably 5-6 years ago or so, elected to cap that at 50,000, which is why you see that number to where it is now. So I just wanted the council to be aware that we do put extra money into this fund for our volunteer firefighters and their pension fund.
Thank you.
Yep.
Next, it's Mayor's Choice. I would like to make a few changes on some of the committees. We are going to, I was spoken with, Anthony. It was actually Anthony brought it to me that we'd like to appoint Commander Ledger. I spoke to the chief, spoke to Commander Ledger. Commander Ledger's all for it. And then that way Ernie can step down and basketball with your grandson. Is that what you're doing on Thursdays? Very good. And then also, at our Tri-Cities meeting, that we had a couple weeks ago, Christoph became very, very interested in the Tri-Cities homelessness thing and has asked to sit on that. And that's one less thing off my plate. So I think that he will be a very good fit, working with the youth as he does and what have you. So thank you, for stepping up to do that. And thanks to Chief and to Commander Ledger for also, giving us the ability to make that movement so that Ernie can play basketball with a grandson or coach. You're coaching, right? Just watching. Yep, very good. So that'll make nice for everybody. So that's kind of exciting. I've attended a lot of things, and like Mr. Granberry was saying, pretty much everything that I have attended, Metro Mayors, Dr. Cog, pretty much everywhere I've been, we had the Mayor's Munch, which is a luncheon that several of the mayors here in our vicinity sit down and have a lunch. Everything that's going on down under the dome is really, truly, for whatever reason, and I don't know if this is just the flavor of the month or the flavor of the year, putting guardrails around, I think, cities kind of taking away some of our ability to run our own cities. And because we're home rule and what have you, it is very important that we maintain our local control. So we will be monitoring those as well for you guys. And I think that's all I've got. So council, would you like to say anything, anybody? No?
I would.
Go ahead, Michael, thank you.
As Devin mentioned, we attended the CML legislative workshop. Two of the big subjects on the agenda were a year with no money and local control. So as you mentioned, that's a big topic. And then on Friday, I attended the CML policy committee, and we talked about everything under the dome. And there was at least 30 bills that we discussed and
Oh, wow.
into length, and it was a very long meeting, but well worth it. And hopefully we can help maintain that local control and do some good things for the state as a whole, and hopefully they won't negatively impact our city.
Right. Nice.
That's all I had.
Thanks. Yeah, personally, local control, that is a hill I will die on, because that's what makes the state of Colorado great, I think, is the fact that we have municipalities that have local control and have the ability to, make their own resolutions and ordinances that serve their public. So that is the hill that I will die on. Oh, there you have it. Next we have public comment. Public comment shall not exceed 20 minutes. Let's see what else. I think that's it. Is there anyone that wants to address? I see two people sitting in the front row that I really think they should at least, because you're so young and we don't get this very often, would you please step to the podium and introduce yourselves? And tell us why you're here, because this is exciting for us.
I'm Cooper. I go to Littleton High School. I'm a senior at Littleton High School. I'm here for a civics project. We're asked to go out and just see how board meetings are run and how our government works. So that's what I'm doing here tonight.
Nice. Welcome, Cooper. And you?
I am David. I'm here to join Cooper in
this meeting, just to accompany her. Yes.
Nice. Thank you, guys. It's just so exciting. I really appreciate it. And I am really stoked that you guys are doing this as a senior. That's pretty amazing. That's pretty neat. Yeah, for sure. Good luck. Have fun with it. Thank you for being here. That's pretty much it. We can adjourn this here meeting. This meeting is adjourned, but we're gonna start into, our Sheridan redevelopment, meeting. So I will go ahead and call, the Sheridan Redevelopment, Agency, meeting to order at 7:51 PM or 19:51. All members remain present. Next, we have the approval of the minutes of the Sheridan Redevelopment Agency meeting of January 26, 2026. We have, I don't know, because my little thing has to sign back in. Nope, not doing it.
And just to let the students know, this will take about 5 minutes. Then you can go.
It's very fast.
Madam Mayor, you can sign back in, or I can go ahead and move to a voice vote and voice motions if you'd like to do that.
Yeah, it's not letting me sign in, so we're gonna have to. Are you guys gonna sign in? Yeah, no, I'm not signed in. It won't let me. Let me try one more time. Nope. It's not letting me sign in, so we'll just go ahead and do it by voice. I'll go ahead and entertain a motion, verbal motion.
Move to approve the minutes of the SRA regular meeting of January 26, 2026.
I'll second. Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Are there any opposed? Hearing none. Any questions? Nope, okay. Next, we have the financial reports. Are there any questions on the financial reports before we get started? Nope, hearing none. I will entertain a motion and a second, please. I'll make a motion to receive and file the financial reports. Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Hearing none, that passes as well. Next, we have approval of the disbursements. Authorized disbursements for February 2026 in the amount of $166,655.56 that have been or will be made for expenses referenced below. Legal expenses, $0. Other professional services, $3,340.50. City support services, $162,206. Other expenses, $1,109.06. And I will entertain a motion and a second.
Move to approve the disbursements as presented.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. That passes as well. And now we are on to new business. We have Teresa report for December 2025.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm actually, if it's okay with everyone, I had prepared a little bit about the finance department as far as our department reports that we've been giving throughout the evening and work session. So if it's okay, I'm going to go over that super quick and just tell you a little bit about the finance department. So we are very deadline driven. So I basically went through the calendar because everything hits a deadline and we have to report. So January through March, we have a lot of reporting for any monies that we receive. So we have our annual report for Arapahoe County for our open space monies. We have to report to the state for the conservation trust funds that we get. The volunteer fire report. We have SRA, our workman's comp audit that we have to do. And then if we have any grants, we do reporting for that. And then the SRA also has debt service that happens quarterly. February, March, my life is just working on audits. So I'm reconciling every asset and liability and revenue and expense from the prior year for the city and the SRA. So working on that in February and March. We always have the audit scheduled for the first week of April. And so once we get to April, we get that to them. Then April and May is when I work with the auditors on any testing they have, answering their questions, going through things that they have. It's also the time I get caught up from February and March. So then moving on into June, this is when we finalize the audit. This is when I prepare what's called the MD&A, or the management discussion and analysis. And then also the official statement tables. We're talking about the official statement that you read today. All the tables that are in those for both the city and the SRA, we have to prepare those, update those every year, and include them with the audit. So that's that official statement that we're talking about. That's where we get OS tables that we talk about in the audits. So no rest for the wicked. We get into July, and then we have to submit the audit by July 31st. And then we have a lot of banks, trustees that we have to then submit the audit to. And then August, we start budgets. So working in August, what happens is Deb and I work on the revenue projections. I get all the budget files to all the department heads in August as well. The one thing I have really appreciated about Devin since he got here is he breaks up the budget into multiple work sessions. So it has made my life so much easier. And to me, I think as a council and a board, it makes it easier, because what we focus on is we have the revenues in August that we talk about. Then in September, we talk about capital at the first meeting. The second meeting is the special funds, and then the SRA. And then we do at the first meeting in October, we talk about the general fund, and then we wrap it all together at the end of October. And it makes it easier for me. I think it makes it easier for everyone, so that we all really feel like we have a good understanding of the budget and what we're putting in front of you guys. And then in November and December, we're wrapping up with the mill levies and the resolutions that we have to submit to the county. And then that's all by December 15th. And then I take a nap from the 22nd to the 31st, and then I start it all over again. So sorry, that was really quick. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
Perfect.
Thank you for doing that, Teresa. I appreciate it.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
And with that, I do want to mention that in case your teacher doesn't believe that you were here, this is recorded. So then you could, you'd have to do a core request and what have you, but then you could prove it. But I really do appreciate that. We're pretty laid back here. We know each other. We're much smaller than Littleton and not nearly as stuffy. So.
Take a selfie for proof.
Yes, you should. Absolutely. There you go. Go ahead. And then you have your proof.
There's also agendas up on that table that you can take one with you.
Yes, absolutely. Take an agenda. And thank you again for being here. And thank you to Shaviv and her daughter for being here. And thank you for stepping up. You're going to be great. So, and on that note, this meeting is adjourned. Time to go home. Or go to work or